Hello, and welcome to yet another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Spec, or Spectral Haunts, and I am joined today by one of my favorite co-conspirators, one of the best players I've ever known, an absolute genius with words, and an absolute amazing, talented master of character use,
Mm.
my beloved, wonderful friend.
Hello, I'm Oatmeal. Uh, just so I don't forget, I will be playing the professor today. Uh, Real kind, time traveling space alien in this high angst FPS called Flèche. But not that kind. It's a French word. Look at the. It's got an accent. Just look at the title card. Um,
I'm going to be saying that word as many times as I can this FPS. Uh,
uh, um,
But for those who
uh,
don't know, it is also a fencing term. It is used mostly in epee is where it's best known, though foil does tend to use it occasionally. It's more rarely used, but it is the process of basically I'm a foilist, so I cannot speak for epeists, but with foil, you very much just basically run at your target. But it's like graceful and with purpose. And you stab them and it scares them.
yeah.
It's very fun.
Uh,
Continue, Oatmeal. Sorry.
yes, and the incredible and creative person
Wait,
here with me today. I have trouble coming up with other. You say
you're
I'm good with
valid.
words, but anyway,
You're a
uh,
master of words and the fact that you can pronounce words that I don't believe exist.
fair
Not to
enough.
mention you do whenever you do play the professor is very like intricate with his wording. Um, I I
Thank
think
you.
I
No,
think you got to give yourself more credit.
all right, all right. Uh, but yes, please let us know who you are and who you're playing.
I did. Wait,
Did
I
you?
forgot who I was playing though. I'm playing I always do this. I introduce myself and then I talk about the other person and then I completely forget that I am in fact playing a character. I'm playing one Quinn no, I'm joking. Private Investigator Grim Tome. This is the other angsty boy. Uh I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to everyone listening. I'm going to be cracking jokes this whole time because the higher angst rating something is, the more jokes I crack. I'm gonna give you all the emotional whiplash.
That's all right. We did plenty last FPS.
Yeah. We'd be having this super serious talk and I'd be like, wow, can't believe the professor's making moves on Tome. Aries not even here to defend his man.
uh,
Okay.
okay.
But
Anyway,
you go.
um, yes. So, it is not. Mm, let's see. Probably 10 a.m. roughly. Uh, maybe going on 10:30. Uh, Tom, you had got a text in the past hour that had a limited amount of information, but had the information that Leah was back, and a professor is also back. Leo
Yes.
is sick, specifically from standing in the rain twice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think what we agreed on is that you've been out grocery shopping with Moria. And uh, well, upon getting that text, you're going to make a sort of uh, detour to get some medicine. But after that, well, I have to imagine uh, Tome goes right to the house.
Indeed. I can't remember if he was he was getting groceries because that was how we got Camille out. A little sneaker.
Mm,
10 a.m. groceries.
eh,
I keep forgetting that there are
8 a.m., whatever
people
it
who
was.
no, there are people who do get groceries at like 7, 8 a.m. in the morning.
Sale. He would go if there was a sale, wouldn't he?
He would. He would.
Yeah.
They'd be like 75% off and told me like, okay, we got it. This only happens once a week, guys. We we gotta get the beans for 75% off. We gotta get the soup from the soup store.
Listen, he's thirsty, okay?
He's thirsty. He's gotta quench that thirst with some bean juice.
Hey, thrifty. I said thrifty.
I know you said thirsty, but
Oh shit! Wrong word. No,
what did you say?
no. Thrifty. It means
Thrifty.
he like a thrift store.
Gosh, now I'm just imagining.
Thrift
I
for
listen,
for
listen.
for, for discount items.
I do know what a thrift store is. I'm just deaf. You must remember.
That is okay.
um, Gosh, now you got me thinking about like a Tome thrift shopping and like him experiencing like the can't find your size thing, but it's like everything's too
Oh
short for
God.
him. So like he
Yes.
like finds like a shirt and it's like a crop top on him, and he's just looking in the mirror like, no, I look like I just walked out of the 90s. No, um,
Well, if you come to the house,
yes.
you will find that the door is unlocked.
I just realized what I forgot. I forgot my dice. 1 second. I'm forgetting something. I will be right back.
Huh, that's weird. I thought I forgot I put my shoes on the desk. What are you doing there? That's not where you go. Getting dice. There may or may not be piano in the back of my recording, but I don't think it's close enough to pick up.
Not seen Speck scrounging around their room like a raccoon trying to find out where I
Mhm.
last put the dice because I do my FPS at a different location every
uh,
time. Now I can make a stealth roll because I want to see how quiet he is actually entering. Which I feel like
Excellent.
I think we said that Moria is going to be nearby, but is purposely keeping some distance
Yeah.
because there's about to be a shit show, right?
Yeah, she probably picked up on Tome's mood.
Yeah, it's when Tome kind of like changes saturation slightly. The title card does
Hmm.
not show that because he got a little bit under control, but he very much got the look of oh, Professor's back. Okay, let's start with a nice stealth.
Hmm.
All right. Okay, could be better, but we'll be all right. 23.
Well, yeah, could be. Uh,
Listen, listen.
I guess it could be, but oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah, that'll be Professor's passive, especially since
He's
I rolled earlier and determined that he's asleep.
yeah.
Um, well, so you enter, and uh, the house smells faintly of soup. There is the couch, facing away from the door, in the living room. Uh, and as you step in stealthily, uh, you can see Leo and Professor, hard to miss. Uh, and as you get closer, Camille. probably partially hidden by the others. And also camembert and spades and genie. All kind
Mhm.
of piled on the couch. The boys seem to be asleep. Professor also seems to be asleep. Uh, would you like to, I guess, uh, roll a
Yes,
perception, or do you want to get right into it?
I will roll a perception.
Okay.
Ah, now that one was a shitty roll.
Okay. That's a 18. Yeah. Well, besides both boys being sick, they all look fine. Leo has a patch bandage on one of his hands. Sleeper is in the rafters, unbothered, and probably still snoozing. There are two glasses of water on the coffee table. Uh, Everything else seems as it should be.
Me stealing myself for this. Professor gets a very, very gentle tap on the shoulder, just enough to stir him awake.
Hmm. Mm,
Would you
yes.
mind meeting me outside for a moment?
He turns and cranes his head to look at Tome.
Tome's smiling.
Uh he's an idiot. So uh
I'm sorry, I saw the comment
he
section.
glances down at the boys and uh nods, smiles back, uh extricates himself from the uh couch pile, uh and follows.
Tome is very calmly walking out the back door, and he just steps out into the field. The birds are put away, and he just stands there and turns around to wait for the professor.
Yeah, professor will close the back door behind him, uh look around and approach. Oh, it's good to see you.
The feeling's not mutual.
Uh, what?
Professor, what in the absolute hell were you thinking?
Thinking?
Well, obviously not thinking, but I was wondering if there's any thoughts up in that skull of yours right now.
What? You're gonna have to be more specific.
Oh, God. Okay. Gods, let me try and word this correctly. Um, what inside your tiny, tiny brain at the moment thought it was a good idea to abandon a bunch of kids with enemies?
That's right. You didn't get very much information. I didn't so much. I didn't abandon them. I was knocked out and moved.
So, none of your actions led to this. It was completely unavoidable.
Mm, no, it was avoidable, but
So, I repeat my question. What part of your brain thought this was a good idea?
well, I suppose the thing that immediately led up to it was me being in a particular position in the room uh, in order to get hit. And the reason I was there is because I was healing one of the children who had been hurt rather badly. And uh, unintentionally, but well, I mean, I didn't mind doing it, taking a hit for her as well.
Okay, well, on a good note, Tome just nat 20 that wisdom.
Wow,
So he's
okay.
not going to kill you for letting the kid get hurt on your watch.
Oh, God.
We've survived the first hurdle. Tome has yet to murder the professor. Uh,
uh, Professor he's a little uh, like his brows are furrowed. Seems a little like disconcerted, but like he does kind of have like a half smile on his face.
Professor voice, oh, it's just like the old days with Tome. Okay, okay. So let me get this right, because I would like to stay just as informed as possible when it comes to this case.
Mm.
You got knocked out and taken away because you were shielding a child who got hurt on your watch and who you had to heal because they were so hurt.
Mm.
Am I
Mm.
understanding this situation correctly?
How do I convey the fact that we were outnumbered and we were facing a very powerful enemy, and me being a single person simply was not able to shield all of them at once across this room. So while I was helping White Rabbit, Ellie got hit. Then I moved to Ellie.
Okay, can I make one funny in all of our seriousness?
Yeah.
How did not your TARDIS, how did Ellie, I almost completely blanked there. How did Ellie get hit? Like, why didn't you just use Ellie to get away then?
He like Quince like what the hell? No. Oh, I didn't. No. Okay. There's a toon named Ellie. Not my ship. My ship was a block away. This was a toon that we had met who was named Ellie. This is the other child.
So you not only got two children who you knew put in danger, you got a stranger's child put in danger as well.
No, she doesn't. Yes, I got the child in danger. No, she's not someone's child because she informed us that she was only about a day old.
You got a day old toon in danger?
She couldn't decide if she was 15 or 17.
I don't care. It's a day old, Professor.
I didn't get her in danger. She was already in danger when I found her.
How so?
How so? I entered the building where the monsters were, and she was already in the building.
Okay, that explains one child who I will not hold you accountable as much for. What about the other two?
White Rabbit
Mm-hmm.
entered the building on his own accord because he was naturally trying to steal from it.
And let me guess, it was the same for Phantom L?
You know that you know that Phantom L was doing a heist there.
I know. And I let you go with him because I thought it was an okay idea. I didn't think anything would go wrong, and clearly I was wrong.
I didn't know anything was going to go wrong either. As a matter of fact, I didn't know there was going to be a heist until he told me. And even then,
I'm sorry, Tome is
he
just handing me
tried.
open and closing his mouth in absolute disbelief, like you didn't think there'd be a heist where Phantom L and White Rabbit were. Which I know in context the professor didn't know those two were there, but Tome
Oh,
is just being really funny in my head. He's like, how did you not put Tome is doing his best to not reveal Leo's secret while
oh, by
also
all means. Yeah.
continue.
He told me Phantom L was going to do a heist, and then he told me he wanted to watch the heist, and that I shouldn't come with him, obviously, because he couldn't watch the heist and do the heist at the same time.
I'm gonna roll to see if Tome has connected the dots that the professor actually knows now.
Mm. What did you
It's
get?
taking him a minute.
Oh gosh, it's gonna take you a second.
This is actually funny, I won't lie. So, you left Leo alone for a bit.
He told me to. He
I don't
insisted.
care if he told you to. That is a
Ugh.
child. You are an
He,
adult.
uh, what was I supposed to do? Not listen to him?
Yes, that is actually quite exactly what you should have done. You should have made sure that somebody kept an eye on him.
He would have found a way to get away.
I'm sorry, it's all the gallery. I'm just imagining because the gallery mentioned Leo sneezes then rolls over off the couch, and now I'm just imagining they hear like a faint thump in the distance of their
Uh,
argument, and then just get right back to it.
on the couch, but yeah.
um, thank you, Emil. Okay.
He would have gotten away.
Yes, but I would much, but then see, then it would be more on him and not listening, and less on you and being irresponsible.
Look, that's just not. That's not what happened, okay?
Oh, like I said, I very much would like to be able to leave this conversation proven wrong, so please do continue.
Well, no, I'm saying yes, all right. I am agreeing, yes, I left him there because I thought he would stay put. And you keep saying I shouldn't have. Well, that isn't what happened. What happened is I left him there because I thought he was very convincing.
So, you're right. That is what happened. What happened is that you were there to watch Theo and his friend, and you left both of
Wait,
them.
what? No, no, I wasn't.
Wait, actual like out of
Oh,
character moment.
you don't know that. I don't think he knows
I
who White
I know
Rabbit is.
that I know he doesn't know who White Rabbit was. I didn't know if he knew that Yudo and Leo were hanging out. Was just Leo? Okay. Thank you. Like I that's the reason I said out of character before like we continue this in characters, because I genuinely could not remember
Ye-
if Tome knew that balancing the in character and out of character knowledge, especially when Tome is this much of an oblivious idiot, can make life a little hard some days. Affectionate's
Yeah,
Tome, but he's
I get you.
okay. So let me get this right. You left Leo alone, and then you proceeded to get three children in danger. And
I
although,
didn't get them in danger. They got themselves in danger, and I happened to also be
oh,
there.
oh, okay, you just bore witness to the event. Is that correct?
Kind of.
And did you, in any point, realize that this was a dangerous place? Were there any sort of warning signs that, hey, maybe you shouldn't be here?
Uh, There was one which I admit I missed because I was under the impression that particular monster was mythological and not real. So when I saw it in an exhibit, I assumed it was a replica and not a real one.
Yes, sir.
What?
You are in Einquell.
It
Never
was
assume.
real kind.
And this is Einquell. If things will go wrong, whether it's real kind or not, they will go wrong. That is the plot.
That's. Uh, that there's no. What
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting to go wrong at most was that one of them or one of
Mm-hmm.
us
Yes.
would get caught by the guards
Oh.
and we have to break out of whatever.
Brick. Wait, so let me get this right. You already had the plans of something possibly going wrong, and your idea to the solution of, oh, what if one of us gets arrested, isn't to be like, hey, maybe we should like reevaluate how we're doing this so we don't get caught, or just not commit the crime in general. It was, hey, what's the best way to commit another crime?
Mm, no, just because I find that people are very insistent in arresting people and don't tend to listen, especially here. Um,
Maybe
Law
it's,
enforcement in particular.
hey,
What? Am I wrong?
I
And so sometimes the best course of action is to wait until their guard is down and then just break out of the station.
This is 10 times funnier because I'm 100% sure Professor does not realize that Tome has a very close tie to law enforcement.
Unfortunately, he did pull it in the vampire game.
He did, oh yeah.
Mm.
So this is even funnier because now Tome's just in my head like, how dare he bring up law enforcement? Fuck you.
And anyway, it wasn't so much that I had a plan for that going wrong, so much that that's just kind of uh that's just it, that just happens so much that it's just habitual. That is
You get
just what you
arrested
do.
that much?
I'm 703 years old. I've been arrested a few times.
Well, I would assume you'd be arrested a few times when you're that old. But I keep forgetting you're that old with how you act some of these days. No, I'm referring to if like it's like a quantity thing, like how many arrests per year.
Uh, uh, I go to a lot of places that are corrupt, so often.
I will let this one slide because that is a justifiable reason to be arrested.
Thank you.
Welcome. Still, though, this whole situation.
I didn't think there were going to be monsters. I thought the only danger was the guards.
Okay.
And they were nice guards.
Okay, okay,
It
okay.
wasn't like ghetto or anything.
Yeto. Still, okay, fine. You were just ignorant. Okay, now we get to the next problem at hand, because there is a lot of problems with this whole situation, Professor.
Okay.
I want to know why Leonardo Layton had to drive the ellipsis.
I told you I was unconscious and I had been moved.
Yes, but I would like to know why you entrusted a 18-year-old to a time travel machine instead of an adult, or at least someone who had flown it before.
He doesn't know it time travels.
Is that out of character or in character?
Out of character. He doesn't know it time travels.
Gosh,
Tome does.
I need notes real quick. I'm gonna make a little note to the spec.
Ooh, you just went really robotic.
1 second. Spec is making a bunch of notes, like on a note sheet right now of all the things I'm learning from this, because I spec am trying to figure out the timeline. So thank you for letting me know. Got a little
Yes,
note.
that is okay.
I have a little notepad out now. I have like a little sticky note in the corner of my normal man with the teleporter. Listen, you're talking to a person who binged a lot of Doctor Who in their life, and I sometimes it
Oh, he knows
slips
he's an
in.
alien. He knows he's an alien. He told him.
I love how all
He
of
told
us
him two
don't know what
hearts.
these two know. I love how thank you to Oatmeal for single-handedly keeping this our sanity together. Um
Yeah, he does. Because he showed him two hearts and explained why he could uh potentially outlive some people.
you are so
Yeah, it's all
valid.
right. It's all right.
Okay. Doesn't know what time travels.
Yeah, but it
Okay.
does.
So
Uh,
you let a 18-year-old drive a teleportation machine.
yeah. Well, I didn't. I wasn't expecting him to do that.
Oh, yes, you give an
Exactly.
impulsive 18-year-old kid a key to a teleportation machine after you do some stupid shit and not expect them to follow through with stupid shit. You're so I cannot blame you. It's not like that's just something understood by almost any person who's been alive more than 30 years, let alone 703.
Um, I expected him to call for help, specifically call you guys.
That's what I would have hoped he'd done, but he didn't. Maybe because he felt that it was urgent, as clear by some of his texts.
Well, I mean, it worked out. I'm here.
Oh, you're right, it did work out. And I am so sorry, Professor. That completely abolishes everything that possibly went wrong or could have gone wrong due to your stupidity. I You are so right. The fact that everything is okay now means that none of this matters.
What should I have done?
I don't know.
Let the monsters take the key to it to the ellipsis?
No.
Okay, then who should I have handed it to? The person who's 1 day old, the other phantom thief, or Leo?
Maybe I agree with the Leo part. What I don't agree with is just handing it to Leo with no instructions.
I told him. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I told him that for both of our sakes, he would need to hold on to it.
For both of your sakes.
Yes.
does that mean?
Because I can track the key with the ellipsis. So if he got moved, I could find him again. And if I got moved, he's the only one who knows where the ellipsis is. He could get help and then find me. Or get help to find me. He didn't even have to come along.
1 second. Tome just handed me a really strong emotion. I actually had to let go of my cord because I squeezed it too hard. Yeah, that's
Ooh.
low. That's a low roll. It was something that he connected with how you worded things. Um,
Mm.
so you're telling you expected the possibility of losing Leo.
Um,
I
I
said, are you telling me that you were expecting to lose Leo?
I was not. I was prepared for the monsters being able to move him, which was a possibility.
So you were prepared for him to get hurt.
With those things, I had to be.
Gods. Everything about the situation just. Ugh.
You
Me,
can't.
Beck, trying
You
to
can.
express his anger without, like, just grabbing a pillow and screaming into it.
No. There are some encounters that you have to expect to get hurt in. We didn't enter it purposefully. We got ambushed. So I was making the best of a bad situation.
I can tell it was a bad situation. Everything about this reeks of a bad situation, down to the people involved.
Well, that's not a nice way to talk about your son,
I
is
was
it?
not talking about my son, and we both know that.
He smiles pleasantly.
Tome is smiling back, and these two are so close to murder right now. Hmm. I'm sorry, I love how these two are just like pleasantly smiling this close to murder, and like inside the boys are just no 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 no.
Yeah.
Gosh, which one
Giving,
makes the move first?
yeah. Giving Leo the key was not a lack of faith or of hope um, in our ability to make it through the situation. It's I was making my own hope by using honestly the most powerful show of trust I can think of, because that ship is my home, my best friend, my freedom,
I am aware of that.
and I would have given all of that for however long for for however long was necessary.
Okay, let's recap. Make sure I'm for your sake at least.
Sure.
You and Leo to this museum. You are
Yes.
ignorant of what's inside because you believe it's all fantasy. And so afterwards, to go and leave Leo behind because he tells you to, and because listening to an 18-year-old is a perfectly fine idea. And then you proceed to go inside, ignore the one warning sign that is presented as a sort of, maybe signal that something bad's gonna happen. And then you proceed to get
What warning
ambushed.
sign?
Didn't
Warning
Professor
sign, what?
Professor said there was one sign that something was wrong?
Oh, that was okay. Okay. You are kind of right. That was the him seeing the thing in the museum initially and thinking, haha, looks like a mythological creature that I don't believe exists.
Okay. So it's two of
That
the same.
does count though. So yeah,
Okay.
you can go ahead.
And then you proceed to get ambushed, which is of no fault of your own. I mean, who knows how perceptive you can be some days? Anybody can get ambushed. And then
It
you
caught
proceed.
all of us off guard.
Okay, like I said, it can happen to anyone. I am trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, Professor. Do not make me regret that decision. And so then you get into a fight and you do your best to protect the children, which you cannot do completely, but you do your best, and for that I will understand. And then you proceed to give Leo the key to the ellipsis because you are convinced at that point, based off how things are going, there is a not zero chance one of you will be sent away to who knows where, because I still don't know what happened, to who knows
Hmm.
where, and then you proceed to get sent away, abandoning the kids with the same monsters. Am I understanding things, Professor?
Abandoning is not the correct word.
What word would you?
I was taken away.
You were taken away. But that
I
word
intended
replaced.
to stay there.
Well, I sure hope you intended to stay with the boy. If you weren't intending that, we'd have to be having a much longer conversation than our current one.
I expect we would.
With the correction made about if it is abandoned or taken, is everything else correct?
Just about.
Okay, then in that case, Professor, I'm going to request.
Sure.
I would like possible for my boy. I was wrong, okay? I admit it. I was wrong before when I said you should be near.
The smile drains from his face.
I almost lost my. I do not. You wanted to leave them? I stopped you. Congratulations, you got my permission. I won't
It was
stop
a
you anymore.
fucking. It was a. I didn't even mean that seriously.
Oh, well, you could have convinced me with how you were acting that day.
Also, I was halfway out of my mind. I realized a week later that I still wasn't right in the head
Oh,
because of all the bullshit I was saying about the vampires.
oh, yes, no, we all know that you aren't right in the head. That's been well established with the few meetings we've had.
Tome,
Professor.
as a temporary thing.
So is this just another temporary thing? You putting my children in danger?
I didn't put him in danger. We were both put in danger.
Right. But he was under your watch. Didn't leave clear information, and he could have. He could not be here at this moment if he hadn't been smart and lucky. You were the adult there. Their safety was on you. You good, Oatmeal? Oatmeal? Oh god. Oatmeal?
I'm here.
Okay. Did you say
I'm
anything?
Nope, I didn't. I am
Okay.
thinking.
No,
Uh,
I'm glad you're thinking. Whenever I said oatmeal the first time, my thing didn't light up, so I thought Discord crashed.
no. Huh.
Yeah. This is once again a wonderful time for us to refer back to the Angst rating for this FPS.
Yes.
Also, let me know if you need a break, Oatmeal, though, in all seriousness.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm okay if you're okay.
I'm okay. I'm shaking, but that's just because Tome is handing me every emotion on the spectrum right now.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Where did we leave off? Uh,
You were an adult, you were responsible for them. Their safety was on you.
mm-hmm. Hmm. I thought I told you that sometimes situation is out of my control.
Yes, you've told me that multiple times.
This is one instance in which I did everything possible, and it was not enough to keep them from getting hurt.
You're right. It wasn't enough.
So, what? You're just going to decide that I should go. You've changed your mind.
You're right. I did what you wanted, and I've agreed that you should go.
I never wanted that.
Oh, you, like I said, you sure acted like it in that moment. I had to drag your
I went.
ass out of your head out of your ass. In character, he would not have mixed up. I had to drag your one
Mhm.
second, me spec over.
It's okay. It's okay.
I very much remember having to drag your head out of your ass. You was so sure.
The reason we had such a long conversation was because I made a joke. You reacted badly to it and didn't understand that it was a joke. I
Oh, so let me.
I went
Oh,
along with it because you confused me.
we're not going
And
to
then
get
you
into the.
struck on something accidentally that actually did have a bit of meaning, but it wasn't. I never.
You
I
never
don't
what?
abandon people, Tome. That's not a thing I do.
I'm. I, I.
Vampires or not.
Oh, did he say vampires or not?
Yes.
Oh gosh, Tom's about to pull out a low blow. Oh no, you just try and stab him instead.
Tome,
Mm-hmm.
I told you I was not. I was barely myself.
Mm. Oh, okay. Were you barely yourself, with Leo then when you made all those stupid decisions?
No, I was perfectly lucid.
Oh, so you were perfectly lucid when you made all those stupid decisions.
I didn't make stupid decisions.
You left the boy alone. You gave him a
I made one stupid decision.
professor voice. It is not plural. It is one. There is no S on that. Thank you very much. Um, I love the gallery just trying to get them. I already have a good idea of what's gonna send Tome over the edge, but
hmm
because he was surprisingly calm with the earlier one, surprisingly,
hmm
um, and then you proceeded to give the same kid you left alone access to a very, very powerful machine that could allow him to teleport anywhere with, like I said, no instructions.
Because it would save his life. The monsters weren't going to stop once they got me. And they didn't. If they could get out of that building, they could use it to escape. Did I mention? You know what? I didn't actually. They can fucking fly. They wouldn't have been able to outrun it without the ship. Outrun them without the ship.
I will not disagree that the ship was useful, though I have to ask, did you give Leo any instructions on how to use it?
We didn't have
Oh,
time.
you didn't have time. So you just gave him the thing because you said it would save him, even though he didn't know how to use it, which means there's a very good chance it would be useless to him.
It opens the ship. It's not difficult.
Okay. So they would open the ship and then what? Be trapped inside there?
No.
Well, they couldn't leave. The monsters would be outside. And if they called someone else, well, then wouldn't whatever happened to you happen to the
I
other people?
either the ellipsis would move them herself, or if she couldn't, she would instruct them well enough to move them out of danger. I think you know it's alive. I might have failed to mention that it is in fact sentient.
That helps your case just slightly.
He grins.
Don't smile at me.
Hmm.
Hmm. The only I've learned from conversation, Professor, is a couple of things. Not one thing, a couple of things. One, you can be even more stupid than I originally thought. Two, you have little to no forethought. And three, oh, what's so funny?
Little to no. I had just about every eventuality accounted for. We wouldn't have all. Now, that doesn't mean we would all come out of it fine and dandy, but we would come out of it alive. Sometimes that's the best you can ask for.
Right. Sometimes is the part. There are multiple points in this entire story that you've mentioned where I can think of how you could have avoided at least putting Leo in danger.
All right.
Which then may have helped the other ones because now you weren't protecting three children, you were protecting two.
We would have been more outnumbered,
Yes, but
and they would have worn us down faster. And instead of one of us getting teleported, more of us would have been,
That,
leaving one person alone with no idea what to do.
that, or you wouldn't be having to split your focus between so many people to protect and heal. Which, you know what? I just realized you mentioned that you were outnumbered. Um, why didn't
Hmm.
you send any sign for help?
How was I supposed to have done that?
A plot device.
I don't have one.
Professor had one. Out of
Oh no.
character. Isn't the professor in the group chat?
He's in the group chat. He uses the ellipsis
I
keyboard.
did not. One sec. I'm sorry now. I'm just imagining this is the equivalent of why didn't you FaceTime me? I have a Nokia.
People also don't necessarily know that. So it's okay.
I know, but it's just really funny because my brain's first thought was, oh my gosh, you have a
Uh,
Nokia. What do you mean you don't have a plot device?
I contact the chat through the ellipsis. There's a keyboard on it. You've seen the keyboard.
I've seen the keyboard.
I
Okay.
don't have a plot device.
I'm realizing this. Okay, I will take this blame on myself. I should have made sure you had a plot device before I let you run off with my son.
We also didn't really have time to call while we were being bit and scratched
Bit?
and such. Yes, bit.
Scratched?
Yes? Hello? I told you they were monsters.
Oh, well, congratulations. You just assumed that every monster is the same. Very much experienced in those words for someone 703 years old.
Okay, all right, but you think of the word monster and you think of something with teeth and claws. It's a whole trope. Can you tell me you were?
You want to roll insight? Actually, you want to roll insight actually, because Tome hands me a very, very, very specific visual for monster.
Okay. Insight. You said.
Yeah.
It's not very good. Let me just. I think I. Yes, I did. 16.
Um, Tome has something he wants to comment about that. He will not say it though. Instead, he's just gonna go. Fine. I guess the trope about monsters does fit.
He looks just kind of smug.
Please wipe that face. You still are the person standing here responsible for my son possibly being near death, for all I know.
Mm, I would say he was put in two situations which were genuinely life threatening, and he got out of both of them fine.
Two?
Uh,
Two?
yes, yes. One of them was at the museum.
Mm-hmm.
The other one was while he was piloting the ellipsis. It landed not in the intended location, but somewhere else. Um, and there was apparently a mind flayer there, but they got away.
Get the hell out.
He shrugs.
By all the gods listening, I don't want to see you near my children again.
Tome, please.
No. A mind flayer? Do you. It's like whenever either of my children get near you, something goes wrong.
That's not true.
Oh? What happened the last time Camille and you and I were somewhere?
Oh, come on.
Mm
That was
hmm. It was what? It was, you know, the instance where you greatly discriminated against an entire group of people and then tried to stab some of them. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Yes. Um, Continue.
He's like he's got like a snarl face. He's that yeah, you got
Oh, we're slowly pushing them both over the edge.
we discussed we discussed why that is an outside case
Oh.
in many aspects.
So every time one of my children gets in danger, I just need to consider it an outside case.
No, you need to consider it an outside case whenever vampires are
Oh,
involved.
okay. Well, good to know. Okay. What about the others, though? What about this time with Leonardo now? What's next? You're gonna go somewhere with Jubilee? Gonna... How do I know that one he's gonna come back from?
Why would he not?
I don't know, maybe because it seems like every time one of my children goes somewhere with you, it gets worse each time.
I think you're seeing patterns and things that aren't there.
I'm seeing 2 out of 3. I would like to not see the endangerment of my children by a person who is overconfident in his ability to be an actual adult become a gag.
Uh, I didn't.
You're right. You didn't. You didn't do a lot of
We were ambushed. This is
You
not
have
my
put
fault.
that so many times. I understand you were ambushed. I have accepted that you were ambushed, and I am not blaming you for being ambushed, even though the fact that you were in there in the first place is something that I have many words about, as you have very much heard so far. But you know
And I
what?
had nothing to do with the mind flare at all.
Oh, no, except for the fact that you left children unsupervised in a teleportation machine with little to no instructions. Yes, yes, nothing involved. It's not like that was your teleportation machine or you were the one that gave one of them the key. You're right. I, how could I have come to that conclusion?
Would have happened whether I was there or not.
Oh, it would have happened no matter what. So you're saying that
It might have.
it might have. It might have. So what I'm hearing is that your ellipsis is a danger to them as well. Not just you, but the ellipsis.
The ellipsis is not dangerous. The ellipsis is the opposite of dangerous. It's the safest place.
And yet they ended up with a mind flare.
Yeah, it did. It was outside the ellipsis.
Oh, okay. So let me get this right. They're only safe when they're in the ellipsis and when they're with you.
No.
Mm-hmm.
It is unsafe for people who don't know how to pilot the ellipsis
Like
to pilot the ellipsis.
like the person you
However,
gave the keys to.
I gave him the keys so that he could hand them off to either Arata or Scribbles or anyone else who's helped me fly the thing.
Tome voice scribbles. Who's that?
Uh,
I don't know one of those names. And let me get this right. You're gonna have a different child fly it then.
no, uh, Arata.
Harada is still a child compared to both of us. Let's not lie.
I didn't expect him to go by himself. I
It
expected
was
him to bring other adults.
if he no, let me get the okay. You saw a boy who not only lied to you to get you to go and leave him alone, but then he proceeded to enter the place by himself, to not try and do something by himself.
What exactly was I supposed to have done? You're mad that I gave him the key.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Should I have given it to someone else?
No.
Should I have kept it?
Yes.
If I had kept it, and your son had been knocked out by one of those monsters, there is a very good chance that neither of us would ever see him again.
That risk is why I don't want you near him. Because I don't
That had
want
nothing to do with
his.
me.
No,
The
I don't.
monsters
His
was.
safety should not depend on your ability to make choices like that.
It didn't. You mean the choice that I did right by giving him the key?
And putting him in a whole new set of danger? Okay, fine. Giving him the key was a good idea. We'll say that. Even though it led to so many problems. Not giving him any information is where it's wrong. You just seem to think that everybody's going to understand whatever plan you have going on in your head, or that you and whatever plan you've thought
I
up in the head.
didn't. I didn't. I would have told him, except there wasn't enough time. We were fighting for our lives.
Oh, you're
It was, I took a hit so I could give him that key.
3 words.
That's,
Don't go alone. I want you to say those with me, okay? Don't.
he didn't.
Sorry. Let me change the 3 words then. Find an adult.
I assumed that his father would have taught him that.
There it is.
Oh, but wait. You
Oh
weren't there
god.
either.
Okay. Yep. So you'd even have to
Hmm.
add the second line. The father would have taught him that would have been enough. Oh god. Roll the hit.
Holy shit.
Oh no, I don't think it's gonna hit. Oh no. Let me see what his
Oh,
anybody what's the me trying to remember what the it is to hit.
Tome said, repeat after me, find an adult as the things that the professor should have said to Leo. And then uh, the professor said, I would have thought that his father would have taught him that. And now we're rolling to hit.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
was that it?
No, that was his wisdom. I
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna make it.
Mm. Uh, God damn it.
We want to try advantage because surprise. I'm gonna pull this out of her
Yeah.
ass to see if you can hit.
No, roll advantage.
No,
Roll
he got
advantage.
even lower.
Uh,
I'm gonna see if he has. Wait, he does have one thing. Hold it. Holy shit, he does. He might have one thing. Me pulling stuff out of my ass for this. Okay. Bits of chaos. Okay. That just gives you advantage. You already tried advantage. It's a bitch.
Mm.
You know what? I'm gonna try one desperate attempt. I'm going to not use my personal dice.
All right. I'm afraid that also doesn't make it.
Gosh, why is your professor so hard to hit?
Because I made his stats better.
Fuck him, Ben.
And he has a good defense code. uh,
Me to the dice, please. It would be really good thematically.
uh, uh,
Tome's just not allowed to hit the
No.
professor. This is 4 dice roll. This straight up,
Yeah.
he is not allowed to hit the dice have made it clear. This man goes to deck professor, and
Mhm.
professor dodges.
Did that get you?
You, oh right. Tell me what I should be doing as his father.
Uh, I don't know.
Get out.
I mean,
I said, get out before I make you.
I mean, yeah, I guess he would be at a bit of a deficit in parental lessons if his father was absent for 3 years.
What?
That's what he said. That's what both of them said.
Oh, talking about that one.
What? What do you mean that? Yes, that absence.
No, talking about the other man.
The I thought your I,
Wait,
I
wait,
thought
wait.
your partner was a woman.
What? I don't have a partner.
Well, yes, you divorced, obvious. Well, and
I've
she's
never
dead.
been married. We're gonna
Look,
unpack that
I'm
later.
sorry.
I have
That was
never
uncalled
been
for.
married.
Oh, okay. Well, or whatever you had going on.
Professor, I've never had a biological child, if that's what you're trying to imply.
What? Yeah, he points at the house.
Wait, don't tell me. Wait, did you think those were my biological children?
Yes.
Professor, I've only known them for 2 years. I couldn't have abandoned them for 3 years because I haven't even known them for 3 years.
Well, what do you mean you've? Huh? What?
My DNA is not in those boys. I
Okay.
understand we've established your brain is small. Can you process
Oh,
this?
shut up. You look like each other.
What? How? Please do
You
not
have
tell
red
me.
hair.
Professor, I know we established during the vampire conversation that you like to make overgeneralizations, but please do not tell me you think every redhead is related.
I don't. I thought you were related because you were calling yourself father and son,
It's
and
called
because.
found family. I understand when with our last conversation we kind of established you don't quite understand that, but it's called found family.
I feel like at some point it would have been obvious to them that that's what I thought, and somebody failed to inform me.
I can't blame them. I can't
I
blame.
don't know who.
I cannot blame them. I will admit this is hilarious actually.
Um, so
Hmm.
who the hell? Who left Leo then?
His actual biological. I don't know the man's name, and I'm pretty sure the boys are keeping that information from me so that if I ever do find him, I do not get the pleasure of stabbing him in the throat.
Uh, okay, all right. Well,
Professor, I I'm sorry.
what?
You thought I had been married. I thought we established
Yeah.
in our last conversation I had no idea about the concept of romance, and you think I had children?
No idea about the concept of romance? No, you were just a little awkward when you thought I was flirting with you.
Yes, well, obviously, if I thought you were flirting with me when you weren't, it would show I do not have a concept of romance, since I cannot tell what flirting is and whatever you are.
I mean, you can. It is possible to. You don't have to be romantic to get married.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people do, but it's not necessary.
Okay. I don't know if that's supposed to be comforting or excusing your mistake.
I don't know where we are anymore.
I Right now I'm trying to figure out if I want to kick you in the shins and kick you out, or if I want to laugh at you and kick you out.
Mm.
Because my opinion still has not changed on that fact. Especially with you going as far as even if you were slightly misinformed, going as far as to insult my father.
Well, you keep blaming this on me.
I'm blaming.
Blame it on the freaking monsters. Of course, you can't blame it on. They're not at fault. They did the best they could. Leo did the best. Camille was here. Leo did the best he could. All of the children did their best. Could they arguably have made better moves? Yes, but they're children. You can't expect that of a person with that little experience.
Right. And I
Well, now
understand.
what? What new insult do you have for me?
I don't know, okay? I don't. Because so far, everything you've said has just made me angrier. And like I said, I feel like every time that you're near my children, something goes wrong. And just, I.
I was with Camille for most of the Yedo trip, and we didn't get into any trouble. When he introduced me to Leo, we had a lovely time in the library. No trouble. When I first met Camille, uh, we had we had tea and decaf and a conversation, and no trouble. Actually, I think Leo was. I think he was there, although I didn't know him then. I mean, he does work there. Oh,
Worried if they wake up and gotten the information I came.
you don't believe that?
That was. I knew. is your
I got an insight.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, that's so stupid. Professor So wants to believe that Tome is finally being reasonable.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Professor. He totally is.
God. Yeah, 7 against a 22. You're gonna cut it. Hmm. I, um, oh, yeah, I know. I'd missed you, you know.
Hmm.
Missed you while I was gone.
Despite my I am so sorry, Oatmeal.
Mm. And I did take what you said the last time we had a serious conversation to heart. As a matter of fact, yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about it while we were fighting those monsters. It's partially why I gave him the key, why I made the moves that I did. Because I did trust that we were going to be okay. That if I could take care of them, then they or whoever else would have been able to get involved would take care of me. And not that that was as important to me at the moment, honestly. And that day at the museum, I was not thinking about preparing to lose anybody. I have not, since we spoke, I've I've stopped subconsciously pushing people away. Leo and I had a grand time at the museum during the day.
You had fun?
Yes, we did.
Glad to hear.
Hmm. Now what's going on? What's going on in your head?
Process information so that I can judge how I found the boys without bias clouding it. Unless you would prefer me to stick by my original idea of you never coming near them again.
Hmm.
However, I figured,
Hmm.
based off how your smile fell when I first suggested the idea, you did not want that. Boys would want that either. They care about you.
Yeah, well, your speech earlier made it pretty clear that that was a bad idea.
Professor, those boys are not lie when I found out that I had almost lost him because he was going after you. I found it easy. And so, here again, I was angry that he was safe. Have made it clear during this. So my reasoning why you should not.
Hmm.
If you don't mind.
I'm debating whether to tell you what actually happened.
Be a good idea. Said again.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure about a lot of things.
Shut up.
No. I don't think I will actually. Mostly because I know you won't. No way I'm letting you get the last word.
Hmm. Well, I suppose you should. I suppose you should know what they are, at least. I don't think it'll help your opinion of me to fill in the other details, but I don't know that I can do much to change that at this point anyway.
You'll be surprised. I've gone through every emotion I feel like at this point regarding my opinion of you. See if we can find something.
Hmm. Well, remember how I said that the people I come from are some of, collectively at least, some of the most powerful in the galaxy.
If this is going to end up in a conversation about your ego, I do not need to.
It's not.
Okay, then continue.
As self important and, well, as you said, egotistical as the society I came from tends to be, uh, well, we had, uh, we had some fears besides vampires. There were things that we told stories about around the campfire. Uh, Told our little siblings were real, so that they'd be scared because
So,
we were also small and stupid.
oh, so you admit it
Admit what?
that you were stupid.
Yeah, when I was 7.
No, no, I still think there. Continue though.
Well, one of those monsters in our stories was one of the scariest monsters was the mournful Azamar.
You want
It's
another
a
funny?
hmm,
You want another funny?
what?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Tome, give me another one. So
Uh,
first it was vampires and now it's Asimov. Is there any other race I need to worry about you stabbing?
they're not actually Azamars. They just look like Azamars. They look like statues of Azamars.
Okay. So I don't so I need to worry about you stabbing statues now.
You say that, but don't be quite so sarcastic. Uh,
I'm sorry, Geller.
so they resemble. God, my cat is making so much noise. Give me 1 second.
You're so valid, I cannot hear the cat.
That's okay. He's quiet, but he's like tearing. Stop. Okay. All right. 1 sec. All right. I'm back. He's not
Welcome
loud. He's
back.
just talking a lot.
You're so valid. I had to shoo my
He
cat
wanted
off early because
he yeah he wanted out.
free the
Um.
kitty.
Okay.
Kitty free.
Yeah. They resemble uh, a statue of an Azamar. They look like they're made of stone, and similarly to a mimic, um, they are, when still, uh, pretty much indistinguishable from an actual stone statue,
Okay.
except they are alive,
I figured.
and yes, uh, well, not every monster's alive. Um, well, they are alive. They're actually, see, they're actually uh, categorized as aberrations. Hmm. And so they have a very odd property. Um, sort of, I don't know if you know anything about quantum physics, but they're quantum locked, which just means essentially that uh, if you're looking at them, they can't do anything. The moment you look away, actually, the moment you blink, they move hyper fast and, well, try to kill you. You know, biting, scratching,
Mm-hmm.
draining your life force. Um,
It.
eh, eh?
I said noted. Continue.
right? So, the way they kill people, and this is the part where I'm not sure if you're going to believe me, but you might believe Leo. The way they kill people is uh, they weaken them, and then by touching them, they are able to send them back in time and feed off of the potential time that they leave behind. Literally, the life that you would have lived if you hadn't been attacked.
I'm gonna
And typically, you stay in the past, live out the rest of your life as long as nothing comes along and offs your unconscious body. Uh, and the people you knew and loved never see you again, and you never see them again. It's hmm, some consider it more most merciful than death. Others understand better. What's that roll?
that was a wisdom to see if he believed you or not.
Oh,
And he does.
oh. So,
There's two different wolves in Tome's brain right now.
mm-hmm,
One is you sacrificed yourself through that, so Leo wouldn't have to go through that. He
mm,
respects that. And then also, how the fuck did you get in the did they get to the past then?
yes.
There's two two parts of him right now because he
Would you like him to ask, or
you keep talking because he's right now just
okay,
processing.
okay. He gives him a sort of look to make sure, like, okay, is he going to outright, like, just brush me off? No? Okay. Um,
He's listening and processing.
mhm. So, um, I I thought those things were fairy tales, just something, uh, just something, just a story, my babushka would tell. But no, they're very real. As we learned, because there were, let's see, one, two, three, four, five. There were five of them in that museum. One of them very old and very powerful, very large. And every time we blinked, every time we looked away for a moment, switched to look at a different one, tried to do anything constructive or escape, they would cut us off, uh, bite and scratch at us. They healed themselves by, well, I said life, but really time energy from you. I mean, literally eating your time. You can imagine that doesn't feel good. You could ask White Rabbit.
Did anybody else get their time?
Huh?
Did anybody else but White Rabbit get their time?
Ellie did. And me. Leo did not.
Right now.
Oh, yes, now. I've had time to heal. So, these things, which made up the nightmares of some of the most powerful people in the universe, were in this museum, um, disguised, uh, waiting for us to be off guard. And then they attacked. Um, they tried to turn out the lights so that we couldn't see them and then they could move freely. And then they got mad at Ellie, especially because she had a sword that could light up, and she kept lighting it up when they tried to snuff it. Um, Personally, the, the elder one uh, sort of got a personal grudge against her over the course of the fight, and so targeted her, of course. Leo was punching the things and actually doing um, a surprisingly effective amount of hitting for somebody who's a bard.
Yeah, no, that checks out for
Okay.
him. Leo is prizes, I will admit.
I found that out because the moment he knew what we were up against, he told me who he was.
Or he told another person. And there is
Hmm?
a little bit of a smirk on his face.
Uh, yes.
What are you, number 9? He does give a weak laugh at that.
I know he know. I know a few people know.
No, it's a lot more than a few.
All
That's
right.
that's why I get to
Well,
laugh at him.
yeah, all right, all right, all right. Well, he hadn't told me, and he decided to then.
I'm glad he did. It would have avoided a lot of confusion.
Mm. Well, so it was. Well, at first it looked especially bad because thinking that they were a mythological creature, I thought that they could hmm, toss you back in time with a single touch initially. Well, I was uh, divested of that notion when one of us did get touched and didn't die, but that was a scary moment for certain.
Yes, I would assume so.
It was White Rabbit, if you're wondering. And yes, so they tried to kill all of us. We fought back. I took one out.
Good.
I. mm, I went to protect Ellie, and I thought I had enough strength to take another hit and have time to heal afterwards. I did not. I That was a misjudgment, but not necessarily one that I regret.
No, I cannot. I'm not regretting that.
So I was knocked out, and I was thrown 30 years into the past. That's where I've been, when
Oh,
I've been.
so okay, because Tome did really low on the connecting. Like I'm gonna do a joke thing on here.
Mm, yeah.
Um, so wait, so when you said you're 703 right now, is that before or after the 30 years added on?
Uh, I, I, it's, I have lived 703 years.
Okay, so that was after.
You're not, I didn't live those 30 years. I was prepared to, but I didn't actually live those 30 years out to catch up with the rest of you.
Wait,
I was thrown 30 years back in time, and Leo and the others took the ellipsis 30 years back in time to retrieve me. Except, well, they were a little bit off, but they were actually, well, it doesn't matter.
there, Professor, you can see a literal dot 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 appear above Tome's head
Mhm.
as he processes this. Wait, are you telling me that the ellipsis it can? And he makes like a little wavy motion with his hand.
Time travel, yes. Time travel.
And are you implying that then that you have experience with this?
Uh, yeah, a lot.
Oh, it's okay. Um,
More than most. Well,
okay.
God, any is more than most. Why'd I say that?
Okay. Do you mind if I go get a glass of water before we continue this conversation?
Sure.
And Tom's gonna walk inside and get a
He's
nice.
gonna him.
He just very calmly goes and gets a glass of water, doesn't say a word, and then just walks right back out and just takes a slow sip of the drink and then motions his hand for the professor to continue.
So you actually believe me?
I don't see any reason not to.
Well, I mean, you have only my word to go on as of now, but I mean, Leo will essentially say the same thing. Um,
And the thing
what?
is, for better or worse, I do trust your word.
It could have fooled me.
I will admit I do question if it's worth trusting every once in a while, but as of the moment, you're on good terms.
Fantastic. So I was 30 years in the past, and since, well, I was 30 years in the past, and uh, no, that doesn't matter. You don't want to hear that story. The point is, I got a message to, I'm sent a message to Leo through time because I knew one of the objects he was coming to steal. So I found it 30 years ago and I guess vandalized it so that he would know
I'll
where and what it was.
I'll accept it this time.
Mm. And so he knew that I was alive and where and when I could be found. I expected him to do a little more preparation, considering it was a time machine and time was not, on his end, of the essence. He could have spent as long as he wanted preparing.
Well, knowing Leo,
Yeah,
he
I know, he didn't.
didn't want to.
I, mm,
So, for future notice, though I'm pretty sure you've realized this now, do not assume Leo's. Do not
I
assume.
didn't have I didn't have much of a choice. It was him or White Rabbit or a virtual infant.
Okay, yes. But if you're going to entrust it, anybody who you're going to possibly consider giving the to, I think you need to just have a brief and little what to do lesson so that no minors are involved again.
I can't just tell people how to use my time machine.
Um,
Tome.
I think you should actually. I think that makes up for the whole, taking about 30 years of my life off of me through stress alone.
Tome, if I tell people how to use the time machine, they will use the time machine.
I'm about to introduce a crazy idea to you, Professor, but there's this thing known as a locked door.
Yeah, I know.
So as long as you keep the key on you, don't see.
Somebody can take it off of me and then use it on my time machine, which they would know how to use because I apparently taught them.
Well, don't be so easy to pickpocket then.
That's easy for you to say. Don't be so easy to pickpocket. Your son pickpocketed me.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
So since that's not an
Get
option,
good.
I'm just going to decide not to tell people how to use the fucking time machine, Tome.
I'm just smiling at you.
Whatever. The point is, they went back in time. They found me. They were a month off. It's fine. They came back and he gestures at the house. We're here now. I dropped the others off at where they wanted to be dropped off because everyone was tired.
I'm not surprised. It sounds like there was a lot that happened.
Yes, there was.
Oh, Professor,
What?
there's a lot of things that infuriate me to know that.
I know.
But thank you. Professor.
I
That's as close as you're going to get to what you did was okay.
I mean, of course.
You really need to stop having so many good traits in me.
Mm. On that topic. No. Just because I'm not sure if this is quite sunk in for you yet. Um, you can't tell people about the time machine. You can't tell people it can travel through time. You can't tell people that I'm a time traveler.
Oh, I have no intention to. I'm going to be honest. After this conversation, I plan on trying to forget this part of the conversation so that my existence does not seem to blow up more, and I do not have to comprehend with the fact that not only are you a main character, you're a very much a main character, and that I do not need that crisis right now. I have enough stressful things in my life. I do not need to process being the background character to someone who has a time travel plot.
Background character? Why the hell? Why
we're
would you
not
be
getting we're not getting to that conversation, okay?
on the background? You're right here.
You're right.
I am.
Yes. So, like I said, you do not need to worry about me spilling that information to anyone. I mean, I kept the fact that I wasn't their biological father pretty well from you, it seems.
Mm, well, oh, that reminds. Um, that temporary antidote they found.
Me, Spec, having completely forgotten this entire point of the plot. They were so willing to murder each other, I completely forgot about it. Oh, they told you about that.
Yes. Um, you've got more of that plant, right?
No,
No.
I'm afraid not. Trying to get it, and I am currently in contact with the person who supplied it for me, but
Hmm. All right. Not, not even a little bit.
the boys used up the only version of that plant that has existed in approximately 25 years.
Not even a shred.
Shred.
All right. Uh,
You understand why I have a lot of feelings about them having eaten it.
yes. I think it's. Of course I do. We had a whole conversation about it. He gestures at the house.
Yes, yes.
Anyway, it's miraculous that nothing happened to Leo.
It it wouldn't affect.
So,
I know the plant wouldn't do that much, at least.
okay. So it only affects Mystids.
Don't
Tome,
please.
are you. Is it because it seems demeaning, or is it because you're in denial?
It's they're the same.
Well, of course not.
Just
Well, that doesn't mean you can't.
I acknowledge it. You
Good.
don't have to think about it though.
Hmm. Well, since we're both working on it, we're going to have to do at
I
least a
know
little bit of.
we can talk about everything. Just don't refer.
Fine. Do you have anything I can look at? Anything I can work with?
Tome is very much making a grimace face. I don't know. I was
Hmm.
really mad at you like less than 30 minutes ago.
Well, take a deep breath then.
Really need something to help you figure it out, don't
Don't say it like I'm stupid.
you? No, not like that. It's more of like I don't.
No, not really. If you've got something that can help,
Me trying to find out what my. Okay, let me grab my D10.
hmm
Get that rolled off the board. That's a 2. He pulls it out. He reaches into his hammer space, and from it pulls out a small vial, a almost iridescent liquid. Air instantly softly of petrichor, and he just frowns at it. This is
Professor is still for a moment and then like flinches backwards, pulling his scarf over his nose and mouth.
are are you okay?
What are you thinking? What are you doing? What? Why is it all? What? Close it.
It is closed.
No, it's not. I can smell it.
It just you people just smell it. It has a very strong scent.
Not through the bottle.
Yes, it does. It's always smelled through the bottle.
No, that's not how that works.
Well, it
If nothing
does.
is, you can't smell unless some of it is getting through. Do you know how smell works?
Oh,
Little
oh,
receptors in your nose
don't you
pick
start
up
doing sarcasm
molecules
on
that
me.
are in
That's
the
my
air,
job. That's my job here.
and you can't smell unless there are molecules in the air.
Yes, okay. It's
Molecules
fine.
of the thing you're smelling.
It's
It's not
fine.
fine.
It's
It's not
fine.
fine.
It's
It's not
a little
fine.
bit of breathing in will not hurt you.
Do you know how?
I spent a
Do you?
month breathing this stuff in and I am perfectly fine, okay?
Toe. No, Tome. No, no,
Okay.
no,
So
no.
it
Tell
is
me that's not true.
I'm not gonna lie, you're actually probably closer to 2 months.
T-
Still,
t- No, 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 no.
not to mention all the times I
I,
pulled out, and I'm perfectly fine.
I
You
need to
just
put it back. Put it back in your hammer space.
okay,
Put it back
okay,
in your
okay.
hammer
It's
space.
back in the hammer space. He puts it right back. Puts his hands up.
Tome, Tome. You don't. There are things which, in quantities in the air that are undetectable by scent, can still kill you.
And
There is not enough of it in the air for you to possibly perceive it, and it can still kill you.
it's
I
fine.
don't know.
I
I
know
don't know that that's. I don't
there's
know that it is,
there's
Tome.
people
Do you?
who spent their whole life breathing this in, and they're a little strange, but they're fine.
I.
You just put you can't ingest it, and if you're attuned, you can't touch it.
That's. If there's enough, you can smell it.
Then it's fine.
No, you don't know that.
I'm fine. Am I melting before your eyes? No.
No,
See, it's fine then.
no, it's not. Did you know if it was okay before you kept it there on your
Yes.
person?
Yes. Like I said,
How?
I
How did you?
breathed it for 2 months
Why?
because I
Did
was trapped on a fucking island with it.
and did you know then that it
Yes.
was safe?
No, I knew then it was dangerous. I saw my best friend melt in it. God damn it.
He pulls away somewhat.
He kind of brushes off his coat. When I said that I know this liquid, I know it. Okay? If I
Oh, you
tell
don't know what it'll do
I
to you long term.
I have trust me, I have researched this a lot more than you have.
Well, obviously, but what research is there about this?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's the entire family that spent their whole lives about it. Maybe it's every book I've pulled out of
One
it.
one family?
Yes, one family of about like
Over how
25
over how
people.
over how long?
The one that they trace goes back about 100 years, but there's textbooks that go back thousands. And I've read them all.
The ones that go back 100 years are nothing.
I'm not referring to those.
You need. Okay, maybe you are right about this, but you don't. I can't believe it. What if it spills
I
in your hammer space?
don't let you
It
know.
could. It could.
Curious now.
Cool.
I'm so sorry,
So,
Professor. There is a little bit of stupidity still in Tome, no matter at all times.
where do you access your hammer space usually?
um, my pocket normally.
Mm,
Well, you can't see it now because I'm not reaching for it. Then he kind of motions to his coat where there is no pocket now.
that's fine. So, imagine one day you feel a little strange and you smell that smell from your hammer space. Odd. Usually
That's not
things stay in there. That's not how that works, is it?
correct.
Only it does this time. And you put your hand in and you recoil, of course, because you feel something wet. And you know that there is something wet in your hammer space that is dangerous. And you pull your hand out and it burns for a moment. And then it's oddly numb. And you look down at your hand and the color is gone. And the line art is, hmm, there's a gap in it. And you can see the sketch underneath.
That's not gonna happen.
You don't think so?
No, I do not think so.
Maybe it'll just melt you from the inside.
I will not just melt me from the inside. I've done that already.
You need to put it in a goddamn secondary container. Or, fuck, a tertiary container, even, because clearly that one isn't working.
It's
What have
working
you got?
fine. It's lasted me 5 years.
It's leaking.
It's not
It's,
leaking, it's just a
it
strong
is.
scent.
A strong scent means it's leaking. It's leaking fumes.
It's
It's
fine.
ev- it's evaporating. That's what it
I
means.
could turn
If you
this.
put it if you put it in a closed environment and change the pressure or the heat, and it could be perfectly sealed, and yet you would have it condensate outside the bottle because some of it is getting out.
You're not gonna stop. You're not gonna drop this, are you?
No, not until you put it in another damn thing.
Where would you like me to get another one?
I don't know. Do you have any airtight containers?
I have the vial. I
It's not airtight.
I didn't exactly grab a lot when I was trying to take a sample. I was more focused on not losing my hand.
Okay. Can we find one now? Is
Sure,
there one in the house?
probably
There's
not.
gotta be. It's a there's a kitchen
I mean,
jar,
jars are. How is a
canning jar,
jar? Please don't tell me. Cookie jar. Did you say cookie jar out of
canning
character? Canning jar.
canning
Oh,
jar.
canning jar. I spec do not know what a canning jar.
That is okay. It is a jar with a uh like rubber seal made specifically to
Oh,
be airtight while things either pickle or preserve or whatever.
I've never pickled or preserved anything. That explains why I did not know what that was.
That is okay. My dad does it, so I know what it is.
um, yeah, fine. We'll see if there's anything in there. I don't know if it'll work though.
I don't even want you to pour it in. I just want you to put it in another thing and then put that thing in another thing.
I'll put it in a box, which I'll put in a box, which I'll put in a box, which I'll mail to myself.
Oh my god.
I'm glad to see multiple people when I had the same brain cell there. Um, Fine. We'll put it in a box and we'll put that in another jar. It'll get you to stop freaking out.
Yes.
You do realize you're gonna have to take it out to use it.
Yeah, and I will under a fume hood,
Oh
which
my
will
god.
what?
You don't need a fume hood for this.
Fume hood.
You don't need one. It is
Yes,
fine.
you do. I can smell the fumes and I don't know what they do.
They don't do anything.
He is just like he has his hands like in front of him like, "Oh my god. Can't believe you."
Professor Boyce, how are you so stupid some of these days?
Have you ever gotten yourself checked out after being exposed to this? Hmm? Have you been to a doctor?
That is unrelated to the.
Oh, is it?
Yes. Let's just go find an
Do
airtight
it.
jar. Get you shut up.
I'll do it under a fume hood. I'll be wearing gloves.
Well, I
I'll be
sure hope
wearing.
you're wearing gloves.
I'll be wearing. You just handled it without gloves. Well,
It's
you've
because
got
it's in the
one glove.
jar. Because it's in the jar. Because it's in the jar.
Jar's not
Oh, and
safe.
these gloves don't work. Um, Most gloves don't work on it.
Uh, okay. Were all the gloves that were used Toon gloves?
Yes.
Okay, you've got to
Um,
use real kind
it's a
gloves.
mix.
Um,
Gosh, yeah, no, I can get you a pair of gloves.
I
Though
have gloves.
not the kind that work for this.
I probably have some.
You have gloves that are a perfect mix of tune and real kind. He raises an eyebrow.
Couldn't it have been something normal?
I am so sorry. The magical water that melts you down and then kills real people doesn't follow rules. I'll make sure to let the person who created it know better. Oh, wait, I don't know because we don't have a choice here.
Okay, you'll find some appropriate gloves, and we will use those.
Yes, I know where to get them.
And I'll probably wear other layers of gloves under it because even if they're not
Go ahead, it's
as
only.
as effective at uh, keeping it off, it at least buys you a little more time as it eats through it.
Oh,
That's
it won't hurt you.
standard. What are you talking
It
about?
sting you at most. Tunes are the ones that can't touch it. They real kinds it gets a little more finicky. It's most deadly to tunes because tunes it melts you. But with real kinds, it's more of like if you ingest it, it's bad. But like if it touches you, it's more of like a sting. It's not actually anything like permanent. It heals over.
That's that could be really bad. There are many things that feel like they just sting you, but they've actually seeped into your bones and killed you from the inside.
I don't know of any real kinds have had a problem with it.
How
We had a whole lab focused on this, okay? I actually paid attention when I visited there.
you would also want to wear safety goggles and a face shield and an apron
God,
and a lab coat
there's so many things.
and be in a ventilated room
Oh God, it's okay.
in addition to the fume hood. You would want a assuming some of it
Please, please do
What?
tell me if we do end up researching this together. Please tell me you're not going to make me put all that stuff on.
I will.
No,
It's necessary.
no. I am a toon. Design changes like that, not fun.
It's not a design. You put on a lab coat for I don't know, a few hours, then you take it off.
Okay, one lab coat, but then you add on the
No, no,
mask.
no, 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 no. You got to wear the whole thing.
But if you put on the whole thing, it doesn't look like me anymore.
And
I'm a. We're not getting into this conversation.
what? It's not. You're not supposed to look good. You're supposed to be
It's
safe.
not about. Don't make the little strangling motion at the professor. Communicating with you is a nightmare.
Yeah, you're not the easiest to talk to yourself.
Oh, shut up. I'm amazing to talk to.
Well, if you won't wear the safety equipment, then I'm going to have to insist that whenever we're actively using it, I'm going to be the one interacting with it.
If you keep trying to tell me what to do, I'll take it out again.
Don't
He reaches towards
do
his pocket.
that. Don't.
Do you really? This is going to this?
If you take it out,
I
I
love
am
just watching the
smart
gap.
enough. I am smart enough not to punch you because that would spill it. So
So you could do nothing.
might take it.
You want to try and take this from me.
I could.
No, you couldn't.
If you take it out, I could.
I'm sorry. I need to close the gallery. I'm sorry. Move my phone away. Maybe I will take it out then. Just to prove that you can't.
You want to risk spilling it, losing one of the few things that could possibly.
I know where to get more. Not exactly hard to make more either. Yes, I know. Incredible. The person who spent 5 years studying this actually knows how to get more. I just don't make more because I already don't like what I have on me.
Well, good, because it's very dangerous.
It's not dangerous. I mean, it's
Yes,
dangerous, but it's not. You are overreacting here.
I am not.
Just fine. Breathing it in like this does not. It's fine.
It's not.
Fine.
Let me see if I have something in here. And he's going to dig into his pocket to put it in.
I thought we were gonna go check the kitchen, because, nothing screams lab safety like a kitchen.
He glares at him. Just give me a second. No. Not. No. Hmm. No, that's single use. Not big enough. Hmm.
At this point, I'm just willing to reach into my hammer space and see if I can pull out something plot convenient.
Oh, I don't have anything.
Alright, give me a second. To make it fair, though, I will only accept this if it's like a 9 or a 10.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never get. Wait, okay. Fell off the table is. Okay, that's a 5. He reaches into his hammer space and. I'm gonna roll a d2 real quick.
Sure.
Because I want to decide if I do a violence or a funny. He pulls out the vial. Nope. Puts that back.
No. Professor, like.
Calm down. I put it back because I know you're skittish. Give me a second. He does this like 4 more times with the vial and puts it back, and he's like, okay, I don't got anything. I can't get the plot to work on my side.
If he, I think over the fact, if he does this multiple times, Professor will have like tried to grab it.
Do you want to roll to see if you can grab it?
Yes.
This is the funniest course of events, actually, I will not lie.
What am I rolling?
Roll
Sleight of hand?
sleight of hand.
All right.
This was not planned, but this is genuinely the funniest series of events, actually.
Got a freaking 10.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can try and be nice. Let me see what his sleight of hand modifier is real quick to see if actually would help at all.
I doubt it.
It,
He's
yeah,
a
actually,
rogue.
he actually has a low sleight of hand. I forgot that.
Oh.
I'm gonna roll with this because funny, and because Tome's an idiot, and I don't know if it's really good if he keeps this on him. Actually, yes, yes. Fun fact: Tome
Okay.
actually only has a +3 to sleight of. He's not a thief. He's a detective. He used to be a detective who worked for the police. Thievery is like the opposite of what he said. We're not getting you to comment on that
So
joke, but
so here's so here's what happens.
Mhm.
Uh Professor was essentially holding an action until he could get the darn thing. Um so he wrests it away from Tome and disappears, and there's a noise in the house. He has cast Dimension Door.
Oh, I'm gonna banish this bitch, and he is going inside. All the righteous fury of someone possible. he is he is pissed off. How dare you prove him wrong?
Professor is in the kitchen, like as quietly as he can, but still kind of angrily, like opening cabinets and drawers and finding a jar that's big enough and like it got stuff in it, so he I don't know, some dry leaves, some basil, I don't know, some he like he shakes it out onto the counter so
Can,
it's empty. He puts it in the jar and closes it. Uh, puts the vial in the jar and closes it. Um,
can,
and then waits a second as Tome comes in
does he does
to
he
make sure that it doesn't still smell.
does he put the jar down on the counter?
Uh,
This is a very important question.
hmm. Let me think about genuinely if he would.
If
Um,
he doesn't, that's valid, but I have a really, really funny thing he can do because of his level up, and I think it'd be really petty and hilarious.
okay, all right. So I think he puts it down, but before you do your thing, I think he would be smart enough to like wrap a handkerchief around the vial in the jar so that it doesn't like bonk again. Like he's insulated it so it won't bonk around the jar.
Mm-hmm.
It'll and then he does put it down
Can the professor
and just
make
sort of take a step away from it. Yes.
Can the professor make a charisma saving throw?
Oh, you want me to make a Christmas saving
I
throw?
know he has a really high, so it's probably not gonna work, but if it does, this will be the funniest shit ever.
This is the spell, yeah?
Yeah.
I have advantage against those.
I won't lie, even if it fails,
And
I have an idea.
yet, and yet, I don't know if this is gonna. Let me see what this
I
is.
gotta
I don't
check.
know what your spell.
I
I
gotta
don't
see
know what
what
your spell save DC
I gotta
is.
see what Tome spell safety is.
Yeah, yeah, get that.
Save DC.
Cause Professor got a 17.
Oh, psh, I am 99% sure that's gonna pass. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot emphasize the my boys are not good. Okay, actually, oh, actually, I don't have it. Okay, spells ABC is based on character's current level and main cast ability. Spec is doing math.
What level are you?
Level 10.
And your spell casting ability score as a warlock is charisma.
Yes, and he has a +4, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so that's a 14. Plus.
Proficiency, right?
Yeah, what's your proficiency?
+4, that's an 18!
Oh,
Professor gets banished to a demi-plane!
I'm not even sure that that's the correct math, but I'm not even sure if it's adding your proficiency, but I'm gonna go with it.
And Tom walks over and takes the jar and just stands there and waits with the pettiest smug smirk on his face for the minute to go up.
All right, 1 second.
I love these two because they can be so petty sometimes.
Oh, Ami says it is the right math, so that's incredible.
Oh my god. Congratulations. Oh. Okay. I'm marking this down on a sheet, but this is hilarious actually. So the minute passes and he's just waiting there with the
Mhm.
biggest, smuggest look ever.
All right, so tell me when minute's up.
Minutes up.
Professor reappears, and he's fucking furious. Um, he is going to try to grab Tome and drag him back outside.
Tome will let him, but the jar is very smugly put back in his hammer's face.
He shakes him. It needs another container.
Don't take it from me then.
Don't take it out of your hammer space then.
Don't taunt to me then.
Don't talk to you?
Don't taunt. T-A-U-T. I know pronunciation's a nightmare on these things.
Mm-hmm.
Don't taunt me then.
Mm. Taunt you? I was just disagreeing with you.
Oh no, you were taunting me. Your tone just reeked of it. It's a side effect of your ego.
Eh, he is just staring at him. He looks so mad, but he's not doing anything.
I prefer next time you don't take something out of my hand. Let's go get a third jar.
Mm. He's gonna march back into the house as quietly as possible.
Tome is following him with the biggest smug smirk on his face.
And he's gonna find some kind of like latched Tupperware that might not exactly be uh industry quality, uh, but is at least effectively airtight.
And Tome will step away from the professor and hold out his hand.
He will hand him the box.
Tome will make sure he is notably not with grabbing reach. And let me roll a. I legally have to roll hammer space again. He pulls it out, puts it in, kind of like holds it up high a little tauntingly, and then puts it back.
Mm. He's going to walk back outside.
Tome's gonna follow him.
He crosses his arms.
Oh, are you upset because I won? I've learned a few little tricks recently. It was a fun way to test it out.
He just I lost my hat. He I lost my hat doing the gesture I was about to describe. Um he just sort of like puts his head down and like scrubs his hand over it exasperatedly. You don't know what you're doing with that.
I know plenty.
You don't know enough. You're gonna get yourself or someone else killed.
I've agreed to work with you. However, I will not have what I know just brushed to the side.
You don't have any long term studies on inhaling the fumes of that thing.
I have plenty of long term studies.
On inhaling it?
No, but all the studies are done by people who lived near it, so.
And how are they?
Well, that was like 1,000 years ago, so I'm guessing they're dead now, but I mean,
So you don't know how they died.
I know.
Or any illnesses they might have had during their life?
Oh,
Mm.
if you start smirking at me, I will take it out of the jars.
He's not, but he was close.
Tome knew what he was gonna do. Tome knows him. Tome's
Just,
like,
yeah, I saw the corner of his mouth twitch.
I can't believe you threatened a man. Thank you for that, Marcy. Tome is beyond all. Tome and Professor's relationship is fascinating because of how petty they can both be sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't, please, don't use that at your house or anyone's house, you need to use it. Do not open it anywhere else unless you are in a lab environment. I have one. Doesn't have to be mine. I can uh I can arrange for one. Uh
We can use
w-
yours. It's not like the one I used is around anymore.
all right.
I feel like if Professor found out what happened to the other one, it'd lead to a whole different conversation.
He was almost gonna ask.
If you wanted to add.
Yeah, he tilts his head. So what happened to the other one?
Oh, it got burned down.
It got burned. Why?
Oh, because someone wanted to steal the stuff.
Okay. And you just keep this on your person.
Yes. People don't know I have it.
Mm,
Well, I mean, technically the person who tried to
nobody?
steal it knew that I had it, but they're arrested now, so we're all
Oh, you don't think they told anyone else?
good. We're not getting into that plot line right now. That is a nightmare.
Mm.
I can brief you on that if you want. That's a whole separate time hotline. I
He rolls his eyes.
all you need to know is I the important stuff. One of the people involved is arrested, one of them is dead, and the other one is sworn to secrecy. And then, well, there's
And then there's
detectives,
like
but they're
9
involved.
others.
No, there's not that. I mean, well, they knew about it before I knew about it.
You're not instilling much
This isn't
confidence here.
exactly okay. It's okay. Oh god, so much exposition.
The point I'm trying to make is that it's dangerous, and it's dangerous to keep on you because other people value it.
And that's why I would prefer to keep it on me. Is don't get it.
You know about charm spells, right?
I'm not gonna fall for a charm spell.
You're not going to fall for a charm spell?
No,
Are you immune?
no. I just have a really good wisdom.
Some people are really powerful.
Like you, the person I just banished.
No, like other people.
Mm-hmm. I can take it. I've been dealing with this stuff, and you have known about it. No,
Yeah, because I wasn't here.
yes, you weren't here. So perhaps you can trust my judgment on this,
So,
Professor.
look, just take it from somebody whose pride has led to some pretty extreme tragedy. Just temper it a little bit.
We're not saying that, Tome. That's really depressing, actually.
Mm.
we're gonna taper down what Tome just handed me to a much less ouch version. Trust me, I do not have enough pride hindrance.
Mm. Self-confidence, maybe. I mean, give it different names.
We're not gonna get into this right now. Why is it that every time you and I have a conversation, I feel like a lot of things I don't like to talk about get brought up?
I don't know, because nobody else talks to you about them for some reason.
I don't want to talk about them. Hint, hint.
But that's the best things to talk about.
Oh, really, really good. You know what? Next time, why don't we sit down and have a little game, and then I'll ask you all intrusive questions about your life.
Fine.
Mm-hmm. Wait, are you actually agreeing to that?
He puts his hand out.
Don't make me look like the idiot. Oh, don't you?
You want to have a game?
I'm gonna
We're gonna
watch you lose.
play.
I'm gonna watch you lose. And he snaps his hand with the professor's and shakes it. I'm going to enjoy seeing you lose this now.
Hmm. So is it going to be the form of what, 20 questions or never have I ever or
Whatever.
hmm, truth or dare maybe?
God, we're both over 40. We're not doing truth there. Have a little maturity.
Never.
I know. I think you would actually die.
Hmm. Well, I think you should probably
If you're
go
saying
talk to Leo.
that,
I mean, unless you've got something else.
no, I don't.
Professor looks towards the house and looks kind of disappointed.
What's with you?
Hmm.
Hmm. You're looking towards my son's disappointed. What's with you?
No,
Don't make me try and punch you again.
stop it. Just disappointed I couldn't stay longer.
Well, you're gonna have to
I
come
don't.
back anyways.
I know. I know.
You better say hi to them before you absolutely try and destroy any self-esteem I have left.
Well, of course.
Stop acting like you're saying goodbye to them for good.
I'm not. I'm just.
You're just what?
I'm mad that I had a argument with you, and now I have to go back to the ellipsis.
Why do you have to go?
You don't want me here.
Oh god. It's down. Okay. Maybe I was a little harsh in the moment.
We don't have to talk. We can just stay out of each other's way.
And we're gonna be talking again.
I mean, just today.
There's a possibility of that. I don't know how much I'm staying here today.
Well, I don't want to make you leave him
No,
on
no,
account of me.
it's not that. No, I've been away from my home. Gotta back in everything. Plus, they're both safe. Well, I don't know if I'm ready to all the emotions to finally hit again. Being a father is exhausting.
Professor has not exactly been listening the last few seconds. He has put his head in his hands and he says, I missed you. I thought I would never see you again.
Oh, here, and Tome's gonna move to give him a hug.
Well, not never. I thought I would have to wait 30 years.
You know, I would have found you.
What do you mean,
Wait,
found me? I would have found you.
uh, possibly. You don't know where it was 30 years ago. Technically, I wasn't alive 30 years ago, but 25 years ago.
What? No, no, I wouldn't have. I would have stayed away until the present because I'm not. You just mess with the timeline like
Oh,
that.
good. I'd hate for you to meet younger me. Now that would be embarrassing. Listen, I was horrible. Absolutely dreadful. I was like you. And there is a little smirk. Come here. And he just pulls Professor into a tighter hug.
Mm-hmm.
Although I wouldn't have known that time passed, I would have missed you too.
Mm.
Don't ever do anything stupid again. If I lose you,
Good.
I'm going to kill you myself.
I'll try.
Ask for help next time. You know I'll come.
I did ask for help.
Not from an 18.
Well, who else? I couldn't contact anyone else.
You're fine. You're right. I'm not blaming you for that anymore. Sorry. It was. Wasn't just worried about the.
Fine. I understand. I get it. He's your son.
And on top of that, which will be if I don't admit it, I may have wanted you to go because I wanted to lose you on my turn.
What? Huh?
I don't want to.
You talk.
I don't
You
want to
talk.
lose you, you idiot.
Explain.
I may have wanted you to leave so that I could be the one who decided when you
What?
lost, and I could live in ignorance if something ever did happen to you. I'm admitting I care about you. Don't make me regret this.
You're wording it in a very confusing way, but
I'm
okay.
okay. Just
I'm sorry I yelled.
I yelled too. Some tea, coffee.
Yes. I'll make you coffee if there is some.
There's technically here, but I got some in my hammer space.
Hmm.
Got cinnamon rolls as well if you'd like those.
Sure.
Coffee and cinnamon rolls then. Couple tea.
Yes. Yes, we can maybe we'll make something so the boys have something when they wake up.
As long as we don't let Camille have coffee. And
That's
don't
fine.
let
I'm
Leo know I drink coffee.
I won't tell.
Okay? And don't tell him I try to hit you.
I won't.
Perhaps that's we should have mentioned this entire conversation to them.
Hmm. Not the details, just that we had a conversation.
Yeah, that we'll keep it brief like that.
Mhm.
Now, come on, I think that's been enough emotional discussions and
All right, all right.
exposition. We could save that for a different episode. I'm attuned, at least self-aware somewhat.
All right, all right.
Do you not remember the vampire incident?
What about it?
And I was able to see we weren't able to go to a location yet.
Huh.
It's a genre thing. And Tome starts leading him inside. I could tell you more about toon genres if you want at some point. It depends on the genre. For example, I'm not completely aware, but in like the moment of a bit, I can make stuff.
Well, certainly, certainly. I mean, I know a little bit. I've got a little bit from osmosis and reading, but
Uh,
uh, nothing compares to a first-hand account.
yeah, trust me, I have all the first-hand accounts when it comes to being a toon. And would you say that's a good place to end it, Oatmeal?
Yes.
Because I feel like we are attempting a second FPS, and we need to at least. I need to do homework.
Yeah. We. This is good.
We can plan that later. Anyways,
That's a later thing.
that's a later thing because that's going to be a whole different set of emotions. Um,
Yes.
Thank you to all our current and future listeners. Thank you to Oatmeal for this wonderful FPS. It was an emotional roller coaster and I loved it.
Yes, it was.
We went
It
up and
was,
down.
and it was fantastic.
It was great. Right. With that, then, goodbye.
Bye.